Welcome back, class. So last time that we left off, we added some thickness to our donut. Now what we want to think about doing with our donut is adding a little bit of randomness to the donut. And it's basically this is really straight, and that's really not what donuts look like. And so there's a couple things that we can do to potentially change this. We got to get to edit mode, so I've clicked the frosting. I'm going to hit tab in order to get it to the edit mode. And what I could do from here is I could hit G, and then I could hit Z. If I hit G and then Z, Z is going to make sure that this thing has the ability to move up and down. Now I'm not seeing anything change, so I must have selected something that was not right. Let's see here. Let's hit Z. I don't know. Let's hit G and then Z. Okay, there we go. All right. So as I move this frosting up and down, that's cool, but it's certainly not the effect that I want. And I could do a couple different things here. But what I want to end up doing is I want to end up really randomly kind of pulling some things down so I can get a nice little effect on really the two rings of my donut. And so what I want to do is I'm going to hide the actual donut. I do that as I hit H. H is in hello. And what you can see here is you can see this ring that exists and then the outside ring. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that I want those two things to actually kind of get pulled down. And what I'm going to use is a kind of a proportional modifier. That's what it's called. And it gets turned on. Get out of here. It gets turned on by being in the edit mode. And then you'll see it right here, but I can shortcut key it by hitting O. Now, if I'm here, I click this and I hit G, it's going to move the whole donut, which is kind of like a really neat effect. It looks kind of like a worm, and I can scroll this thing out. I don't have a mouse, but if I scroll my mouse wheel out, you'll notice that it really affects a lot of stuff on here. So this is a smooth way to do it, but I do not want all of the other things, all the other vertices that we can see. This is a vertex, this is a vertex, but all these other vertices that exist, because I can see them, I end up moving them, and I don't want that to happen. And so what I need to do is I need to basically select everything except for this ring and then this ring, and then I'm going to hit that little proportional modifier. So how I can do that is I can get to wireframe mode, I'll hit 1, and then I'm going to hit box select tool, and I'm going to basically select everything but the very bottom vertices. And it looks like I have accomplished that. That looks good. Ooh, that one right there, I need to deselect that, so I'll hold shift, and I'll click that. And holding shift is going to allow me to basically select more, select less. And so just like the donut, if I hit H, I can actually hide those vertices, which is what I want. Now from here, I could get into object mode, or I can get out of this and see it out of the wireframe mode. But I want to keep the wireframe just to kind of see some things. And I'm going to click onto this, and I'll hit G and then Z in the Z direction. And we'll notice that that doesn't look too cool, but if I zoom that out a little bit, it looks like it's moving a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to hit escape. What we'll notice is I've got some different properties here. I want this to be random, and that's going to allow this to kind of make up its own stuff here. And random's good, so I'm going to hit G again, Z, and we'll notice that it starts to really change some stuff, especially if I zoom this out. And I'm zooming this out on my computer just by holding two fingers together and moving it to the kind of the, like, I guess it's up and down, so I'm moving it up. If I move it down from top to bottom, it makes that bigger. You can use your mouse wheel to do this, basically the same effect. And so if I make this bigger, you'll notice that it looks like it's going to affect more of the donut. I'm going to make it really large because I want it to be a big effect. Right. I think that looks droopy enough. Very cool. I wonder if I hit sphere, I hit G, I move that. It's not what I want. I'm just looking at the different possibilities here, so that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so this has been a long video. What I want to do is I want to get out of all of this so I can see what my donut looks like. So I'll hit Z to get out of the wireframe. I'm going to hit tab to get that stuff to look back, and there's kind of my donut. That looks kind of cool. And then if I want to get my donut to like come back, I'm going to hit Option or Alt and then H. So there's my frosting, It looks okay. I like the way that looks. You might not. You might want to change the way this looks. That's up to you. If I get back to edit mode, I'll notice that I can't see a couple different things. So I'll hit Alt H again. So that'll allow that to come back. If you hide anything and you want to see it again, you can hit Alt H and it usually will come back. All right, cool. So there's my frosting.